What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with another beginner's guide. This time, we're going to be charging in to Gaia. You'll notice that one thing that I've been doing with this beginner's guide is I've really been picking the more economic-centric civilizations. I want beginner players to really focus in on that macro aspect, that economic aspect of playing Age of Mythology before you get into the nitty-gritties of timing attacks, aggressive rushes. All that stuff is all great, well and good. You can go and learn that, but once you finish that rush, you still need to be able to create stuff after. You still need to be able to spend your resources and find that advantage. So I find that this is the best way to start learning. That's why we're going with these economic civilizations first. Anyways, Gaia here, goddess of the earth. She does start with some hero citizens, which really does boost that economy quite significantly at the start of the game. On top of that, she can also promote her citizens to heroes at a cost of minus 25%. Now, my current opinion on this is it's not worth it to convert your citizens to heroes unless they are under danger of something. You're sending them out into the center of the map for some reason to build, to hunt, to gather gold. If you've got the excess resources in the bank to do it, maybe. But reality, we would really want to be saving this for like mid to late game on the front, heroizing those citizens to be building stuff. And one of the big advantages of a hero citizen is that it actually gets affected by armory upgrades. So if you've got a ton of armor, hero citizen comes in, palaces come up on the front, those citizens won't die as fast, and it's going to be a much better time to get that forward build starting up. Anyways, she also gets economic guild upgrades costing 30% less, and you can be researched at one age earlier. What that means is, for Gaia, let me come over here. For Gaia, she can get these upgrades in the classical age. She can get these upgrades in the heroic age. So it's kind of a big deal, and you do want to be playing into this. So we're going to be showing you a build that gets her access to those upgrades very quickly. Economic buildings, town centers manage economic guilds, and markets grow lush. Now, this here works in tandem with this upgrade up here called channels. Now, I'm yet to make a early game idea happen with channels. My only idea for this one is set up a network to the front from wherever your military buildings are to make sure that they get to your front much quicker on that Gaia Lush, and also set up a Lush sort of system into your corner of the map for your trade route for the late game. So either you do that in the kind of early / mid game, the early mid game, and you get channels, and then you build that. You literally build that channel out to the front of the game where the fighting's all happening, or where you need to defend, or you don't get it until you start your trade route. And it is a big deal. 15% extra movement speed on the Lush will speed up those caravans quite a lot. Now, talking about their minor gods here, in terms of which gods you really want to be going for, Oceanus is the king right now for Atlanteans, in my opinion. I don't rate Leto at the moment. I'm not sure how he's supposed to get any better here when Oceanus is just this much better. Those automatons can be useful, so let's go through maybe why we might want to pick Leto. If there's a situation where your opponent is really rushing you hard with one myth unit, and that Caladria is just not enough to slow down the myth unit getting value, which I don't think is possible. But if that's happening, then you need to go Leto to get those automatons out to kind of defend yourself straight away. It's kind of the only strong myth unit to get straight away to defend yourself against early myth unit aggression. Anyways, I'm going to suggest Oceanus. I'm going to suggest using this Caladria here as a defensive unit to kind of not have to react to that early attack. You can use burst heal to get that unit back up to full HP and run away. And also just the regular heal there to slow the death of that unit down, so that you don't have to react too much and get your Mamillo heroes out and you can defend. You also get this upgrade, Bite of the Shark, which is insane. So definitely a must grab tech there for your Mamillo and Fanatics. This weightless mace is also pretty decent, but I'm yet to actually pick it up because I just don't see the purpose at the moment of doing this. And we'll talk about why catapulties maybe aren't a unit I want to build all too much And then finally, we got this frontline heroics thing here as well, which I think if we get stuck in the classical age and we have to make a whole bunch of Murmillo heroes, yeah, sure, grab this tech, but this is more of a mid to late game tech for maybe converting fanatics, because in all honesty, or maybe destroyers, in all honesty, Contarius and Arcus heroes, those are the ones you want to be heroizing. Okay, so the heroic age, you've got two options, and both of these are pretty decent. Thea is really, really good at dealing with enemy myth units. You've got the Stymphalian bird and the Caladria combo. There's not a whole lot of civilizations that can actually deal with this. Even Egyptian with their priests, those priests don't have enough range. You can sit at the back with the birds and you can snipe those priests down, and those birds can actually retreat back. You can heal them up with the Caladria. And with some good micro, it can be really, really frustrating to play against this as an Egyptian player. You've also got these dryads that come out of your Hesperids tree, which cost wood now, not gold. Keep that in the back of your mind. They cost wood. But you can throw 2 Hesperids trees down for free, and you can actually get 10 of these. That's a front line for you. It's really, really strong. I recommend doing this. You also get this technology here, Prophetic Sight, which does make your oracles a little bit stronger. Do recommend getting this one, but only when you start getting a fair amount of them out. It's pretty expensive at 8 favor, and it only increases your oracles gather rate by 10%. So you can get 10 oracles out and then get this upgrade, and it's going to be able to boost you by like 1 extra oracle total. These upgrades here with Poseidon's Secret for your cavalry and Lance of Stone, these are really, really good. Get both of these and make those horses. They're very strong. And this Daughters of the Sea thing, just increasing your nereids. I would never pick this one up. Okay. You've also got down here Rhea. This god is really good for punishing a booming Egyptian player or a booming Greek player who isn't really making all that many myth units. They grab like 2 town centers, and you're like, oh, you grab 2 town centers, let me punish you, because the map's really, really kind of open with 4 gold mines. So you can get that behemoth out to just break through whatever, and you're still going to be wanting to do some sort of fast. Right? You've got the Trader God power to steal away an enemy myth unit as well. So that's very, very strong. These upgrades here, Horns of Consecration is pretty good to get yourself a little bit more favor. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot you're going to be wanting to spend favor on when you go down this path of Oceanus and Rhea, with the exception of maybe tons of Carnivoras. So really, this is more playing into the Mythic Age myth units here with that extra favor. You've also got this upgrade here, Rhea's Gift, which not only returns all the favor you've spent on technologies, but every other technology that has favor attached to it is now free. So that's has no cost for favor. So that's very, very good there as well. And Orichalcum Mal is really good for your Arcus. 20% hack, 125 gold. That's value. So all these upgrades here are really, really good. Definitely worth picking them up. Making those behemoths. You might, at max, I think you want 2 in your army to make a big push happen. 3 is maybe overkill and maybe spending a little bit too many resources on them. You can always make destroyers as well. Anyways, in the Mythic Age, both of these gods are pretty good, in all honesty. You've got Tartarian Gate, which is very strong. It's going to be able to control an area of the map. You use it in your opponent's main base. You try and kill them with it. You got the Lampede here. This is going to be really good at slowing down your opponent's myth units, as well as like chaosing enemy units as well. But if you get Asper Blood, you can make these Lampedes work really, really well. Asper Blood plus Lampedes, that's a counter to Thoth Elephant. If I can get this out, if I can get enough of these out, those elephants, I can just turn them into chickens. It's actually kind of insane. So this is kind of one of those reasons where I'm like, maybe I don't really want Catapultis. But the weightless mace Catapulti comes in against that late game kind of mass Migdol composition, because they're quite quick and you can use them. But yeah, if your opponent's making a whole bunch of elephant, make a couple of Lampedes, get Asper Blood, and then enjoy the rest of the game. These other upgrades are, I mean, Celerity's actually okay. Getting that extra myth unit speed will give you some survivability, but I would be more focused on just getting as many Lampedias as I possibly can out. And then Atlas, this is more of a like, okay, I need to make a push happen now. I'm going to implode my opponent's units, kill off these all units, and I'm going to go for a gold star with a Mythic Age timing. The Argus is really, really strong. Definitely worth building that one. I don't know what this tech does, but it looks really strong. The problem is getting Fanatics out is kind of a little bit difficult. but it is cheap, and it seems quite strong. And I think maybe against like a Ragnarok or something, this would be one way to really help you win those fights a little bit better. You also got the Titan Shield here, which is actually insane for your destroyers. It gives them an extra 50% vulnerability to pierce attacks, which basically means they don't get touched by pierce for the rest of the game. Like, they just tank. So this is, if you have like Arcus Destroyer composition, which is one of your best compositions with Gaia, getting Titan Shield and doing that is very, very strong. Anyways, I'm going to get into a build. I'm going to show you a little bit of a game plan here with Gaia that you can try and figure out how to win with this god. It's not the easiest, but we're going to go and show you. All right, so first things first, we're going to be jumping onto gold. We're going to be getting a villager onto wood, but also getting the economic guild here as well. So we go ahead and send our oracles around, jump this villager over to here, last one over here, get our goats in, and we're going to put our villagers over onto food. We also get ourselves this upgrade here in the economic guild, pickaxe. Very, very important. So this build is really, really simple. You don't have to worry about all too much. It kind of all plays for itself here at this point. Everyone goes onto food and you should be totally fine. Don't have to do all too much micro. Maybe this villager over on gold is going to come over onto the wood. This is why I put this tree line here very, very close, but I'm not exactly sure. Can't remember. I know that this is the start and we can work it out from there. But goats coming back home. Of course, you can use this button here if you're a little lazy like me. You can do that. But yes, everyone onto food. You can see that all the food should come through perfectly and on time. That's the important part here. As we see the gold shooting up here, this villager here will be building a manor, but we can't build it just yet. So once we get to 165, that's what we're waiting for here on this one. 165 and house, and bam, it comes down perfectly. Happy days. Back onto the gold mine there. And then we'll get ourselves that final little bit of resources. And then we might move over onto woodline here with that villager there on the gold. Once we get that, we come over here, over onto gold, onto wood, and this here will get us enough wood here for our temple, which is the next thing we need. So this is the only little bit of micro. This is why the Gaia forest comes on this position. You can put it really, really right in the center here, which is not a bad idea either. Let's see if we can't not kill that. There we go. And we're just going to be going up to the next age. We're looking for a 355 advance time roughly here. It's not a bad idea to actually kill these zebra off a little bit quick if they're really close to all your other villagers. So I'm just going to do that right now with one villager, and it will save me just a little bit here. I need to just wait on this temple here. There we go. Temple comes down. This is my last villager here, so I'm going to actually drop the villager off of the wood and put it onto herdables. And this should get us a nice advance time here. This villager as well can come onto this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to be pre-queuing up Oceanus. So you see we don't quite have the food. No worries. Temple doesn't finish. There we go. And we advance. So we're all good here. We can also go ahead and do this. And we can also pre-queue ourselves hand axe. We're going to put a whole bunch of villagers over onto this wood here. We got 2 villagers on gold, which is going to be more than enough. Or we got 4 villagers on wood here just to get ourselves the wood for a manor, husbandry, and 2 barracks. That's kind of what we're looking for. So I'm going to queue that husbandry up as well to grab that one. And as soon as we have all that wood, we're actually going to take 2 villagers off here and move forward onto these chickens. One thing that is very, very difficult to play with Gaia is to be leaving your base. And you can see if you scout really well and you find all the goats, you can see how many goats I've got here. So I don't need to leave my base. This is really, really good. Really, really good. So I'm going to send these villagers here over onto berries. These villagers here are going to come up here onto this position. We're going to be dropping a barracks down, actually. First and foremost. This is basically just for defense, but we might want to be a little bit aggressive with it. And we can kill off a raven there with that special attack there from the Caladriel. So barracks 1, we get barracks 2, we send this villager over here, this villager can come over here, and we're just putting villagers onto food for the time being. And we just sit in our main base here, basically, at the moment. We're playing super, super defensive here. This is the way. Just make sure when you're training these Murmillos, you've always got the resources, or going to have the resources. I check my citizen here to see how he's going. And we're good to go. Now, the villagers that are coming out of your town center probably should just go into goats once you've got husbandry. So I'm going to get myself 2 more of these guys because I should have the income here to get myself another thing. And we're just going to get ourselves somewhere in the vicinity of, I would say, 8 to 10 Murmillo. Oh, for some reason, I'm not building them all. So let's sort that out there. So we're going to get ourselves, that's 4. So I need 2 more cycles. And then we're just going to stop producing. We're going to get ourselves watchtowers. Watchtowers keep us nice and safe from any sort of all-ins. And we need to start getting villagers over onto gold. Now you can also think about getting yourself, instead of watchtowers here, if your opponent's being a little bit greedy, you can think about getting yourself shaft mine. I wouldn't get bowsaw just yet. It's a little bit too pricey for this point in the game, and we don't have that many villagers on wood, nor do we need that very quickly. But we're going to now get ourselves our armory down. And we're going to be trying to head to the next age. This is all we need. You can look for raids with this. You can be trying to be hitting with this Caladria if your opponent's harassing you with myth units. Make some hero Murmillo to defend yourself. We want a roundabout enough income to be going to the next age. So I'm just trying to like organize my economy in a way that I'm going to try and hit 800 food. 800 food and 500 gold. At this point, we get our armory up, villagers back over here. And why are we going to the heroic age? Why is it so important? Basically, in my estimate right now, the units that you get access to for the Atlanteans in the classical age, they're just not that strong. That's the sad part about it. The counter barracks units, I wouldn't build them. Maybe I'd build them if my opponent is not building anything, as we're going to get attacked here. And we're just going to retreat. We're going to hit this. We're going to go here. We can also carnivore this if we need to. So you can see that we're going to be able to defend any sort of crazy attacks here very, very easily. Get our villagers back to work. Queue up Thea here. And obviously it's an AI, but we defend it very easily because we have watchtowers. And now we can advance, and now we can get ourselves some more houses, and we get ourselves some more barracks here, and we're going to be able to go into a very, very nice position here. And we might also want to get ourselves some more oracles out at this point. I recommend getting 2 here. Why? Because we want to be making those Stymphalian birds. The Stymphalian birds, they're costing wood, so we need to get a whole bunch of wood out at the moment. And we got a whole bunch of barracks. So I'm just going to go with 4, just because we don't know what we need to be spending here, but at the moment just 4 is good. Put a couple more onto this, and you can also now get yourself that bowsaw if you like. Because bowsaw, you're going to have a lot of wood to be spending here in this game. Well, we really don't want to be losing oracles. Position your oracles in safe places. Build another oracle because we need to. Now we're going to drop our thing down. And we're going to start getting ourselves those Deuterinos here. And we're going to start building a whole bunch of Arcus and Contarius here. Is our basic want, our basic desire, so to speak. And anytime we can build one of those, we're going to try and build it. And now we can get a mana down as well. And at this point, we're just building up an army that is very, very strong. Are we building a mana? Yes, we are. All good. And anytime we can get ourselves the Dryads out, we do that. Anytime we can get ourselves any of these units, we're literally just trying to macro out an army as fast as we can here. Because our opponent, I mean, we should know. We should be scouting with the Caladria a bit. We should know what they're doing. So if they're going for a second town center, we've got to be a little bit more aggressive. But we don't really know what's happening. Let's get ourselves out another Stymphalian bird. Let's get ourselves over here to defend ourselves. She's going to be attacking us. We're going to run. And we get our guys back to work here. We need to get our house down. Let's get ourselves this. No, not that one yet. Get another Oracle out because we want that. And now we've just got an insanely strong army here that is going to be fantastic. We're going to drop another one of these trees down here. Okay, and now we're ready to go and kill our opponent here. With what we got now, it's looking very, very nice. I also just put all my control groups onto my army. Now I'm moving out, so they're all going to come in and join in with the fight. So that's always going to be a good way to play. And we're still trying to get out these guys. We found him on his second gold mine. Happy days. Let's come and get some damage done here. And one thing here is we want to also sit our Caladria and our Stymphalian birds in a bit of a safe place behind here. We can have a Caladria auto healing here, so we can go ahead and say, okay, this unit here, we can fully heal that one back up to full HP. Any of those low HP units, you're looking at getting some healing going on. We're now out of food, and we can probably start thinking about moving out to another like resource here. Now we've got an actual army. And basically, that's the guide here. At this point, we're mustering up this army of Stymphalian birds, Arcus, Contarius, Dryads. All of this stuff is just really, really strong here. We're just trying to extract the most amount of value out of playing this civilization. Also, getting some more upgrades here would not go astray as you're playing. Remember, you're on one town center, so you need to get that extra economy to be competing. But all you have to do is just ensure that your Stymphalian birds don't get sniped by your enemy ranged heroes. And you should be able to find a very, very strong timing here to go after a gold star with these Stymphalian birds. And you can see how this also could work if your opponent's going for a boomy strategy by going through Rhea to get those behemoths out and doing a very similar thing to push through whatever buildings that they've got. But in terms of open maps here, yeah, this strat is going to be very, very king here. There are also some fast second town center ideas that aren't terrible for Gaia, but that's for another day. If you guys enjoyed this one, have any other questions, leave them down in the comment section below. My name's Boit, and I'll see you guys in the next game.